Tonight on CTV News at 5.
I'm excited about anything that has to do with Canada.
White knuckle win. The entire country breathes a collective sigh of relief as the men's hockey team moves on to the Olympic gold medal game.
Ours personally, we did a big giant coffee cup, a big cinnamon roll, and a big sandwich.
And seasonal sculptures. This Cape Breton community turns snowbanks into appetizing works of art.
A swipe of snow across southwestern parts of the region tonight. A few other areas to watch for some snow on Saturday.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we go any further, let's head over to the anchor desk where Todd Baddeck is standing by. And Todd, you could cut the tension with a knife in here earlier as we all watched very tensely and intensely, but thankfully things went our way, hey?
It's a good thing that gold medal game is on Sunday, or else I think half the country would be calling in nervous to the office, right? I know you're going to talk about that in further detail a little later, but let's talk about what's coming up at 6 o'clock, Maria. And the population boom here in the Maritimes appears to have stalled, with more people moving from the 3 maritime provinces at the end of last year than moving here. Coming up at 6, we'll talk about how this will impact the region, find out what the results might be in the coming years if we don't see a turnaround. Another New Brunswick youth is under the authority of a terrorism peace bond. Now, this is the second time it has been imposed on a youth in the province this month. Police accuse the youth participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network. We'll talk about this at 6.
Put your puzzles back.
An economic study into the viability of the Yarmouth to Bar Harbor Main ferry shows Nova Scotia's annual $20 million taxpayer subsidy is worth the money. That's according to the study. Financial spin-offs are in the millions, and we will find out more at 6 o'clock. Let's find out a little more about the weather now, and dare I say, Kayla Mitchell almost had a spring-like feel to today.
It certainly did for parts of the Maritimes, but conditions today were kind of split between some areas that were a little bit chillier and locations that were feeling some milder temperatures. And you can still see that divide as we take a look at some current temperatures heading into the first part of this evening. Where was it a little bit chillier today? Northern areas of New Brunswick, where some temperatures right now are sitting between -4 and -8. Prince Edward Island, where Charlottetown and Summerside right now are sitting at around -6. And some northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia, where temperatures are between -1 and -4. How about that almost spring-like feel? Well, that was in southwestern areas of New Brunswick and parts of the west of Nova Scotia, where some temperatures made it up between 1 and 5 degrees in that February sunshine. Taking a look at the winds right now, they're variable in direction around the region, but mostly only being sustained between around 5 and 15 kilometers per hour. No particularly strong wind gusts. Over on satellite and radar, cloud cover continues to increase in the southwest of the Maritimes, and that is ahead of a low-pressure system that is making its way through and up the northeastern seaboard of the United States. It is expected to come in with some snow right around the southwestern corner of the region, parts of the coastal southwest of New Brunswick and parts of the southwest of Nova Scotia. And then aside from that snow, there's some other areas in the region that'll get into some snow and some flurries later in the day on Saturday. And we have the special weather statement now that's been issued for central and eastern parts of Prince Edward Island for Nova Scotia. This is for that Monday into Tuesday weather system. Maybe some snowfall amounts of 15 to 25 centimeters, accompanied by some potentially gusty winds. More in the forecast later on. Maria.
Thank you very much, Caitlin. We will see you later on. Right now, though, 12 teams from all over Atlantic Canada are in Halifax for the Atlantic University Sport Men's and Women's Basketball Championships. CTV's Brianne Foley is courtside at Scotiabank Centre, where fans and athletes are in for a jam-packed weekend of high-quality b-ball. Hi, Brianne.
Hi, Maria. It's already an electric weekend. We have a very close game still happening between UPEI and Cape Breton. Of course, UPEI are the defending champions, so this one's going down to the wire. We saw earlier that St. Mary's University and St. FX Women's, they had a tight game as well, so it's a lot of fun here at Scotiabank Centre. There's going to be another round of qualifying games tonight, so those are the quarterfinals, and then we head into the semifinals tomorrow on Saturday, and the big games, those are on Sunday. Still tickets available, although it is expected to be a pretty packed house in here. Some great basketball ahead of us, Maria, but you know what? We are going to check in with one of those winners from St. FX a little bit later.
Excellent. Thank you, Brianne. CTV's Brianne Foley in Halifax at the Scotiabank Centre, where the AUS Basketball Championships are taking place. Kicking off this evening, going right through the weekend. If you love basketball, you already know it's happening. You probably have your tickets already, but there are tickets, as Brianne just mentioned. Speaking of high-level sports, the highest level of sports are happening right now, the Olympics, and going for gold. Productivity came to a screeching halt right across the country earlier today when Team Canada took on Finland in the men's Olympic hockey semifinal. And speaking of that, how are your nerves? Before the game, the disappointing news that the guys would face the Finns without Sidney Crosby, and then the emotional roller coaster all the way to sweet victory. CTV's Jonathan McGinnis gives us a play-by-play. Hi, John.
Well, Maria, is there a better place in the country than Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, to watch Team Canada play? Both Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon both played their minor hockey here, but as you said, word came out about an hour or so before the game that one of those two superstars would not be playing. There was a tense start to this one, with Canada falling behind 2-0 to Finland. But the team rallied.
I think that we can come back. I think we're going to go and we're going to win.
The game seemed to be everywhere. Some young fans got to watch from their classroom. These grade 2 students at École Bois-Joli in Dartmouth did their best to cheer on the team. Teacher Sabrina Finvesi has taken the opportunity to teach her students about the importance of the hard work that it takes to get to perform on the Olympic stage, but also about some of the countries Canada is taking on.
And we also talked about the other team that they're playing, that Canada is playing against, and how we want to encourage them, because they also worked really hard, and they're not any less important than Canada, but we do want to cheer Canada.
Back at Big Leagues, Canada's comeback had people on their feet, especially Nate McKinnon's go-ahead goal with under a minute to play.
Nate, Sid, and Brad, all from this area. You know, it's, maybe there's something in the water, we don't know, but we're so proud. Nova Scotia, let's go!
Just love to see the boys win home, you know what I mean? We're going to go for gold.
In what will no doubt be an equally tense game.
Well, Maria, I think I finally calmed down. What a game and what an atmosphere here at Big Leagues in Cole Harbour. And you know what? We get to do it all again on Sunday when Team Canada plays for gold.
Thank you, Jonathan. CTV's Jonathan McGinnis for us in Cole Harbour at Big Leagues this evening. Oh my goodness, I can still feel the tension. Hopefully we'll be recovered by Sunday and go through it all over again, as Jonathan just mentioned. All right, time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. But stay with us. When we come back, we'll head back to the Scotiabank Centre, where Brianne Foley is standing by. The AUS Women's and Men's Championships are taking place there. Also ahead, we'll announce the winner of 4 tickets and accommodations to see the Halifax Thunderbirds. And a little later, we have this story.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Baddeck, Nova Scotia, where normally things are pretty slow in the middle of winter. But enter the community's annual Winter Festival, which featured cool sculptures in front of businesses made of the snow itself to bring out the crowds. The story is coming up.
We're Give to Live. Our mission is to inspire you to live happy and healthy lives through generosity, fitness, and achieving the extraordinary. Join us and support our charities. Get inspired at givetolive.ca and achieve your extraordinary.
Welcome back. The Atlantic University Sport Men's and Women's Basketball Championships kicked off in Halifax today and run through Sunday. CTV's Brianne Foley is at Scotiabank Centre standing by with an athlete who's chasing hoop dreams this weekend. Hi there, Brianne.
Hi, Maria. Yes, I am joined by captain of St. FX, Mally Straker. You pulled out the win today. It was a close one. How was that?
I mean, it was super fun. Like, yeah, I just love playing with the girls. Like, even though like we didn't get that bye, it's just another, 3 games to play with everyone. And yeah, it's just electric. And I was proud of the team.
Captain, it's your last year with the team. What are these emotions like this weekend? You advance to take on first place UNB Reds. What is the emotion in the locker room?
You know what? Like, it's focused right now. We're all dialed, locked into the plan. But yeah, it will, like, it'll get more emotional as we go. But yeah, right now we're just super locked in on, winning, and yeah.
How is it to play in Scotiabank Center?
Yeah, so this is my third year of playoffs playing here, and it's electric. Like, it's really fun. Also feels very professional, so I think that helps us also play professional, and just be aware of, all the crowd and, focused, and yeah, no, but it's really fun.
And I guess, how does it feel to know that, you have this opportunity and your future in basketball is bright?
Mm-hmm. Like, even for this weekend, like we've talked about, we've been talking about it since the beginning. So I just feel very prepared with the squad that we have. Couldn't ask for any better team. Like, the girls were very united and, relentless, unselfish in our play. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what we'll do with that.
Okay, so you're playing the first place team tomorrow morning. What does that mean? What do you got to bring?
Well, I mean, starting off now, like, rest and recovery is really important. We got quite a few injuries, so just managing that for today and being most prepared as we can tomorrow. But also, that belief, we did beat them in our first game against them in the regular season, and just knowing if we play like that team, we'll have a lot of success.
What does the big stage do to your nerves to either ignite you or, trip you up a little bit?
I feel it really ignites me personally. It's just, like I said, very electric. And I feel like that comes a lot with the rest of our team as well. But yeah, we made an emphasis in meetings this week, especially with the rookies. The lights are bright. It's really hot in here. It gets a little loud. But yeah, I feel like today we did really good despite that.
All right, last question for you here. As captain, what's your message to your team tomorrow morning?
Stay locked in, stay ready. We're going to face some adversity. Basketball is a game of waves, so just being able to manage those dips that we have, and yeah, just believe that we can do it.
And then your message to people who want to come watch?
I
love it.
We're a fun team to watch, so.
Speaks for itself, Maria. So definitely tickets left, so you can go to AUS basketball championships for all of those tickets.
Oh, thank you very much, ladies. Locked in. Yes, that's the message. Locked in.
There's so much high-stakes sports action going on right now.
Yeah, my nerves can't take it.
It's a good thing I have these snowfall forecasts to distract me.
So much to talk about, though.
There is a lot to talk about in the weather, absolutely. I mean, today was a pretty nice day around the region, though. It was divided into some colder areas as well as some milder areas. One of the colder areas was parts of Cape Breton. That's what we're looking at here. It's the Seal Island Bridge, as seen from Kelly's Mountain Lookoff this afternoon, and I'm going to have more on the weather forecast, including talking about that snow in more detail after the break.
Welcome back. We are about to make someone very happy. CTV wants you to team up with the Halifax Thunderbirds. Someone and 3 friends will cheer on Halifax's National Lacrosse League team as they face off against the Las Vegas Desert Dogs on March 7th at Scotiabank Center. We are giving away 4 tickets to the game, a night stay at the Halifax Marriott Harbourfront Hotel, and more. All right, you ready for it? The winner is Kirk Cavici from Hubli, Nova Scotia. Congratulations to you, Kirk. Thank you for playing, and thank you to everyone who took part. I think you're going to have a good time. Killian, it feels like we've got a bit of a sports theme going today. We just gave away tickets to see the Thunderbirds. We're talking AUS. We're talking Olympics.
That does seem the theme for the show, and I think it's appropriate on this Friday as well. Big congratulations there to the Thunderbirds package winner. Those Thunderbirds games, they are always a great time.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So, Caitlin, I have to ask you this because I need to know the science behind this. Are those snowbanks shrinking at an absolutely stellar rate? I can't believe it.
You know what? I think a couple of people out there noticed that. This time of the year, sun's a little bit stronger now. When it beats down on those snowbanks, it's going to start melting them away. The snow will last longer, of course, in places that are shaded. So, for example, where it's added up a little bit more in forested areas. Taking a look at a beautiful view here, seeing some blue sky there in the background. And of course, some of that snow in along the shoreline as we take a look at our sunrise and sunset times for the provincial capitals. We do have a lot to talk about in this weather forecast, including some instances of some snow and some flurries this weekend, and then that bigger snow event coming up early next week. Taking a look at our weather systems map right now, barometric pressure is sitting in between high and low pressure, but we do have a low pressure system. It's kind of sprawled out across the northeastern United States. And we're going to catch the northern part of this weather system in the southwest of the Maritimes. We've been seeing some increasing cloudiness through that part of the region throughout the day. No snow has shown up yet, but it is expected to move in later tonight and into early Saturday morning. So right away, let's head over to our forecast timeline and take a look at that. So that snow is really expected to first begin to develop between 9 p.m. and midnight, right around the coastal southwest of New Brunswick. So it could get into areas like, for example, St. Stephen, should be lighter there, Campobello, Grand Manan, and then into the southwest of Nova Scotia. And it's really the southwest of Nova Scotia where that snow looks like it'll ramp up during the overnight hours. Watch for the darker blues showing up here, and you can see how they pop in basically between Yarmouth and up towards Liverpool. So parts of Yarmouth County, parts of Shelburne County, parts of Queens County. This is where I think there could at least be locally some snowfall totals between 10 and 20 centimeters. That would come down tonight into very early Saturday morning. The snow would then become lighter, moving up through the Annapolis Valley and moving up through Lunenburg County and into western parts of Halifax County, including Halifax itself, which maybe picks up a few centimeters of snow overnight. Now, it's a pretty fast-moving weather system, so early Saturday morning, the steadiest of that snow is already clearing off towards the east, and behind it, there'll be a chance of some flurries. But later in the day on Saturday afternoon, evening, and night, a round of snow and flurries is expected to move in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence for eastern areas of New Brunswick, especially down around Moncton, the southeast, Prince Edward Island, and northern and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. And that round of snow may be accompanied by some brief periods of almost snow squall-like conditions. So some bursts of slightly heavier snow, some reduced visibility. So taking a look at a snowfall outlook, let's break this down into two periods of time. First of all, the round of snow brushing in through the southwest tonight into the start of the day for tomorrow. And there's that 10 to 20 centimeter potential showing up Yarmouth, Shelburne, Queens counties, and then lower totals moving towards the north and back towards the northwest. Then that next round of snow that moves in off the Gulf of St. Lawrence for eastern parts of the region, that is likely to bring in some fairly widespread amounts of 2 to 5 centimeters. Pockets as high as 5 to 10, and potentially more up in higher elevations, some of the higher terrain in Cumberland and Colchester counties, as well as, of course, the Cape Breton Highlands. And a special note for the Shetty Camp area in Cape Breton, this looks a little bit similar to the situation last week, which allowed a lot of snow to add up in a short period of time. So even around the Shetty Camp area, be careful about some higher local amounts, and that would happen basically moving through Saturday evening, night, and into very early Sunday morning. Now, taking a look at winds in the forecast for tonight, they're light and variable in direction. Tomorrow's winds around the Maritimes will be mostly out of the north, and they'll be a bit blustery with some gusts between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. It does get colder tonight for the region, even those areas that were a little bit milder today. So most of the lows, several degrees below the freezing mark, or down into the minus teens. Some in the north of New Brunswick between minus 18 and minus 22. Sky conditions a little bit clearer for that part of the Maritimes tonight. And high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow for the region, chillier than it was today, in a lot of cases between 0 and minus 3. All right, let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 7-year-old Violet Foley from Mill Creek, Nova Scotia. And Violet has sent us a drawing of a rainy day, but looks like Violet is all prepared with her umbrella there. Thank you, Violet. And weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. Time for a break, but first, some music. Tonight's African Heritage Month Music Spotlight features Halifax's own Levon the Prince. When he was just 6 years old, he made Canadian hip-hop history and became the youngest rapper in the country to release a full album. Proof that talent and confidence can start at any age. Here is a taste of his song, Jump.
Just a kid with a flow you ain't never heard. And if you know the song, sing all the words. I just want to ball and be an MC. Levon the Prince, make it J-U-M-P. Jump, jump. Levon the Prince, make it jump, jump. Little kids make it jump, jump. Everybody just jump, jump.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Did you hear? We're giving away 30 trips to right here, Beaches, Turks and Caicos with Password to Paradise.
Listen for your passwords every 2 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Welcome back. We wrap up tonight by turning the dead of winter into some appetizing art. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, snowbank sculptures in the village of Baddeck have been a big hit in a place that is normally a summer destination.
The village of Baddeck is normally pretty quiet in the middle of winter, but builds some cool snow sculptures along the main street, and the vibe can, well, heat up.
Ours, personally, we did a big giant coffee cup, a big cinnamon roll, and a big sandwich.
These winter works of art were all part of Baddeck Winter Festival, which is not only an excuse to turn otherwise bland snowbanks into something creative, but also a celebration of outdoor activities and some major local history.
It also happens to take place around the same time of the first flight in the British Empire, as well as the birthday of Alexander Graham Bell.
So there was over 20 sculptures, and they were phenomenal. And I think ours are pretty good, but we didn't win.
Seeing something eye-catching on the side of the road brought people out of their homes.
It got the locals out and the local kids.
And it meant a boost to some of these shops that normally make their money when the summer sun shines.
Gives the businesses that stay open year-round a little bit more of a boost. But it also has other businesses potentially thinking about opening up a little bit more in the winter.
All of the sculptures that line the streets of Baddeck turn people's heads, but I'm told that this one was the winner. This ginormous lobster that still sits in front of the Limwood Inn. While that lobster still sports a proper icicle beard, Baddeck Winter Festival is actually over for another year. But this time around, it did hit different.
The Winter Olympics kind of has everyone in the mood of getting outside and enjoying some winter activities. So I think in general, I imagine there's more people out snowshoeing and skiing.
And the creators of this snowbank sandwich and the sweets that go with it already have their sights on going for the gold, locally speaking, next winter. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Baddeck, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Ryan. We said it. When winter gives you snow, make snow sculptures.
That's right.
I love it. Those are really excellent. Well done, you guys.
Yeah, great timing, great time of the year for it. We've had the weather for it this winter as we've had some snow. We've got some more snow in the forecast I was talking about. Not only a little bit coming in tonight, well, actually a little bit more than a little bit for the southwest of Nova Scotia, but at times this weekend, and then of course that bigger weather system that's still in the forecast for early next week. So I'm going to be talking more about all that coming up on CTV News at 6.
We'll see you and Todd at 6 o'clock. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. The national news is next.